can't. You don't.
It doesn't work like that. Yeah.
No.
There's
You
a
gotta
process, and you got to go through it, and as much as you may like to do something, it may not be within your charge, within your charter to do certain things. So you have to make the best decisions, and you have to do ethical decisions as well as moral decisions, and not just do things to make people happy.
And John James will send it back real quick and be like, can't do that.
All right.
And
Nope, can't do it.
Shout out to John James.
All right,
to the
so
councilwoman's point, it takes, and I applaud, it takes a special person to run. It is a personal, if you're serious about it. Let me Councilwoman knows that is a very hard time when you're running. You don't get to spend time at home. You spend a lot of time in the community. So the sacrifice is great, and it takes a special person that steps up and does that. That's why I think the education process for potential candidates is so important in the beginning, so you know.
you're like candidate boot camp you need,
Yeah.
Pretty
right?
much, because you're taking on so many personalities, because everybody in your ward is different. So you really
And
have to
everybody
be a
in your
people
ward
person.
or your house district or anywhere or your city is not your friend.
That's true. And
Hello.
you meet
Right.
all kind of people from
All
all
walks of
sectors.
life, yeah.
How you deal with those? So my thing would be if outside of a boot camp, do the basics. Go help a candidate who you believe in. Help them on their campaign. See how campaigns run. Go volunteer somewhere. Go into your community, because oftentimes you live on one street. And if you're just going by that perspective, you don't know what's going on what are the needs of the next street, what's the needs of the next
In a
community,
different
whatever.
neighborhood,
You
different
gotta be out
community.
there. Yeah.
So
Boots on the
Gotta be out
ground.
there.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Gotta be out there.
In the trenches.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Last year I was at a candidate forum for Ward 1, and in the Lee Harvard Center.
Shout out World One. That's my
Shout out to Ward 1. Thing is that somebody asked about, and knowing if they knew, you got constituents of potential voters like asking about the gas prices. How can the city council person affect the gas prices? I like,
They can. Hello.
I don't think Councilwoman Cleveland can affect the gas price, because if I'm sure she could, she would.
Break out her powerful pen and write a letter.
No.
About the gas prices.
Because
You mean
because that's federal regulations. That doesn't have anything to do with
Well, doesn't she
the
have
the city. That's nothing to do with the city. She only can do so much part of the city. She's not the mayor or the president. She probably wishes she would. That's what they say.
The way it
And
happens.
Larry J, the other part of that too is understanding, how the real world operates.
Yeah.
Because people think, again, that, we have more power and authority that we have, that somehow your city council person or a state rep can
Move heaven and earth.
it can undo poverty, and we have minuscule control or impact on the global economy. And a lot of these issues are dictated by what's happening in the world, not just what's happening in Cleveland. And so, people have to understand, and it really takes a higher level of education and
Global economics.
not being biased, but right, global economics. City council, we're dealing with transportation issues. I currently chair the transportation committee. So
RTA.
yeah, well, on one hand, it's public transit and
transportation.
RTA issues, but also the airport.
Right.
Exactly.
And the airport is governed by the FAA.
Right.
And you've got not only federal issues, but you've got highly technical issues when you're talking about aeronautical science. So there are just so many things in transportation, infrastructure,
Right.
Municipal finance. People don't understand the city has a budget.
Yes.
Every government entity has a budget, and that the budget operates a certain way, and you got to balance the budget. You can't carry a deficit from one year to the next. So,
They think so.
well, people they don't understand how government works, and they also don't understand the differences between. It's all the government. People understand. The city is separate from the county, from the federal government, and then the courts,
Education.
and the school board. So there are all of these. And
There's the
people's
city-
minds,
City of Cleveland, you got your
all,
right.
y'all.
All y'all.
They want
Y'all.
because they're
Y'all.
having this big discussion, and so a lot of people are mad because they didn't have the party in the park this year. There's so many people mad about that, and I'm saying to myself, I did that logistics with Councilman Reed for 4 years. Y'all have no idea the funding that goes into that particular project. Everybody just you get to come for free. I've actually did the budget, the logistics of it. What funds went out, who had to get paid, how much we needed to raise. It's not as easy as people think. They just see the outside of it. So now they're all upset because, well, I think Kevin Bishop, he should have kept it in this and that and the third. And Kevin made a decision to say, no, the monies that were being used, I'm going to use to rebuild the community. Do you know he catching it?
I understand, and he made the right decision.
I think so
He made the right decision.
Listen, I'd rather listen. You're gonna build up my street. I'd rather have no potholes in my street than a dang party, and I gotta walk into a crater of a pothole. I'm just being honest.
Absolutely. Get rid of some of the vacant houses. Put funding into programming for the kids in the neighborhood. Yeah, those are the things that the concept was. We all have fun, but it was over, and it was over. Yeah,
13 years is a long time. And I don't think people really understand those acts. They didn't just come in for no peanuts.
No, they did not.
I don't care who they were. They didn't just come in for no peanuts. We had to literally pay those.
One time I went to the party in the park where Stephanie Mills was there, and I know she didn't come in for no peanuts.
Because the story I can tell you about that one, I'm just gonna keep quiet.
I think we've gotten to the point too where our eyes off the ball and we're entertained by these things that don't matter. It kind of goes back to your earlier point. Everybody seems to now want something. They want something without putting the work into it. To have a good, nice community, that takes work from the people who live in the community.
Exactly.
Not that the mayor comes in and saves it, or the councilman to a large degree comes in and saves it. It is that community that saves it and makes it better. Right. But they put a demand on themselves. We have to be better. So we're not going to have garbage on everybody's lawn, or your yard has to be cut, and those type of things. But those are what neighbors do for each other. And we've got to get back to that, because we've lost that somewhere in our process.
We really lost it when we thought we had politically arrived, when we got our first African-American president. We just knew we were there. We dropped the ball.
Yeah.
We just got to the
station. Was only the beginning.
We got on the bus, but we got on the train.
Right.
But we didn't even move. We didn't help him to help us. We just thought that since he's black and he looks like us, that he gonna get up there and he gonna do what he needs to do for us. No, you got to help yourself in order for him to help us. So a lot of people are like, well, us as African Americans, well, I don't think President Obama did what he was supposed to do by us and this and that and the third. And blah, 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 blah,
okay,
blah, blah.
All right. Let me
what?
Let me say this to them before we go to break. I'm gonna say this. If you're getting opposition from everywhere, which way in the third, and if you're getting opposition you can't even pick your own justice for the Supreme Court, from the opposition from the Republicans when they took the House, or any opposition, if you're getting death threats on a regular basis because you are the first black president, then there's only so much you can do. If you even and he did a lot during the it was going to take. You can't expect him to do in 8 years to wipe out 400 years of poverty, slavery, and pretty much oppression from black and brown people. We could.
His legislative accomplishments those first years was just extraordinary.
It was.
But most people do like this. I'm going to elect Phyllis Cleveland as councilwoman, and my job is done. Now, every problem I had, it's up to her to take care of it. Now, right, because I got you in there. Now I'm gonna go home.
No, you're going
instead of working with her to make the community better. That's what many of us did. We elected him in the office, and then we just went home to watch him on TV.
Right.
We didn't do our work. Yay! We've got to do our work.
Right. Do your work. Do your work. Do the work.
Putting the work in.
Putting the work in. Good stuff. All right. We'll be right back on this break. We'll be right back. Last part of Headlines and Headaches. Larry H. Gardner, the Queen, Jay Price, Phyllis Cleveland, and Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland, and Billy L. Sharp. The Queen. I said it in the beginning. All right. We'll be right.
Majority leader.
Majority leaders.
Sherry,
that's right. She is the majority.